us able to do discovery, press the buttons, change some channels and stuff like that, and looks decent. Hey, Gavin Cassamy, I'm back. I'm a software engineer, and I have been attempting to vibe code an iOS app with different tools, different AI tools. I've tried Claude, Gemini, OpenCode, and then also playing around with different models. Last time, I attempted to, without success, to try out Gemma 4. It wasn't working. Last night, I figured out what actually happened was I was taxing the memory with other things that I didn't think about. But it does work, but it takes a very long time using this Gemma 31B uh, parameter model using Olama. I have been playing around with different options, including not using Olama. Um, I've also I've also improved my prompt. And now that I've been through this a couple times, I decided let's make the prompt a little more structured than make an iOS app, use the CLI tools and make it look decent. I've added a little structure. One thing I've found that does work is the checklist. Uh, I think it helps. The checklist helps with this issue where uh, a task is completed prematurely, or it may ask you, okay, I've done XYZ, what should I do next? So generating a checklist I've found is rather useful. Um, and so as I go on, I will improve the prompt, um, and I'll probably try it again on previous tools like Claude and Gemini. I also want to try a newer version of Gemini, different Gemini models to see what my results are like. And outside of all of the coding and stuff, um, I do want to see how useful this is in terms of doing creative things. I don't know, generating images or processing images, generating text for sure. Um, can it, for example, aid in the creative writing process? So stuff like that. So I definitely want to play around and figure out what models are good for what tools are good for what. And so this is more experimentation than anything and my own learning, not necessarily a comparison of these tools. This is not a scientific test in any way, shape, or form. This is just an update on my Gemma 4 attempt, and I started it last night, um, and I left the computer running. When I looked at it, it said it was running for 7 hours. I have no idea what it was doing for 7 hours, but the checklist was almost done. I did see, and I pull up the memory, as you can see here, because one thing I can tell when the model is in memory and running or not is just the fact that almost all of the physical memory is being used. And so I pull that up, and when I open it up this morning, I can see that the model was not in memory, so I knew nothing was happening. Um, I probably need to figure out how to get more visibility. Now that's the software engineer talking. More visibility into what's going on with Olama. Um, so I'll play around there. I'll probably look at the. I actually have no idea what language Olama is written in or anything like that. But I'll probably poke and see how I can get some more visibility. There isn't much you get to see with the Olama UI. Really, it's just a UI, um, a launch UI that gives you some commands you can run, and a chat interface. It doesn't really give you any feedback stats, that sort of thing. It would be cool to see something like that. And so I may I may play around with different tools. I heard about like Llama CPP, and there's something else that I tried. What is it? Um, Something else that I tried recently. What is it called? Should I open OpenCode right now? Probably not. I'm already taxed. Let's not do this. I guess I can. It's just I'm not running anything. OpenCode. Models. So we can see that I tried MLX. Um, this is I tried MLX with Gemma 4. I had I so the model runs, but I have issues with tool calling. Um, Tool calling seems to work perfectly fine when it's running in Olama, but I have not been able to get it working uh, in MLX. I know Gemma 4 is relatively new, and that may be the reason. So I'm playing around with it. I think tool calling is really the differentiator here. Just being able to say, hey, I want an app and run all the commands that are needed to get the app going is really the difference maker for me. So this is just an update. I'll probably try Gemma for with less parameters to see how that works. I want to mess with more of the capabilities of this model, but since I was already doing this iOS app, I wanted just to see if what's the capability. Can it even do this kind of stuff? I have tons of reading to do, so I'll check it out, read some blogs, look at the release information, or I could just ask Gemini to summarize it for me. So we'll see. All right, I think that's it for now. I'll probably do another video whenever this is finished, and we can take a look at the results to see how well it does. The cool thing about this is, as you can see, all my memory is being taxed. It's running all locally, and it's running. I mean, not as fast as it's good enough for certain tasks. It's good enough. We can see really that CPU is not really being taxed that much memory. Obviously, we're using every bit of memory that we can. What's our disk like? Is there a percentage? I don't see any percentages. Would be nice to see if we're maxing out our disk throughput. Data read, reads per second. Okay, I don't know. Network shouldn't be any network, so because we're not downloading anything. This is all for the most part local. So yeah, uh, it's it's going. I'll just do another stream. It's easy just to stream than to create a structured video. So I'll just do that whenever it's done. Okay, I've been struggling with Xcode Gen. Unknown target platform. Usually Xcode Gen infers the platform from the product type and okay. Okay, let's try a different. Maybe I can use Swift package to create. So I think the other tools were successful in using Xcode Gen. One thing I do at work is mix and match models. And so, for example, I might say, have Claude do this for you, as an example. Or if you're not sure about something, or validate with Claude, and so I would set it up so it can call the CLI, give it the context of what it's doing, and then get an answer. It's actually been very useful in terms of getting out of a spot where it's kind of stuck. And so maybe I might experiment with that. It's also a good way of conserving your tokens. So for example, my Cloud account, my Gemini account is limited to an extent, right? So what if I did most of my work locally on maxing out my 64 gigs of RAM, and whenever it's stuck, just ask Claude, ask Gemini, um, and then get an instant answer, and then keep moving. That might be a more cost efficient way of vibe coding. Like, you get the best of both worlds, right? So is it what's going on? All right. I mean, it's doing all the things that I expected to do. It's trying things. If it doesn't work, try different things. Look online, check documentation. Um, it would be, oh, 404. It would be nice if, oh, so there are a couple things that I would do normally at work. So, for example, at work, I explicitly instruct to use GH as opposed to doing web fetch for Git related stuff. I found using that CLI is a lot more efficient than essentially trying to curl a web page. So I'm just letting this do its thing, but in general, I would do things to make my process when I'm actually working a lot more efficient. And again, I would also be looking at the code a little more closely that's being generated. For this, we're just having fun, so we'll see how that goes. I don't have a project yet. Xcode Gen is failing. Maybe I should interject here and say, hey, can you try? But let's see if we'll figure it out. I'll let it keep going for, I don't know, for another couple hours while I do other things, and see if it can figure it out. Until next time, bye.